Market Monday. We have a ton to get into, but first, one of your two player of the weeks, Alvin Kamara, your offensive player of the week. 91 speed, 91 break tackle, receiving back. Not too much to talk about there. The last week of 92 overall team of the weeks. Here are your blurred out images. One of these guys is going to be, I think, your Matthew Berry, 89 overall card. The other three are your champions. You can kind of guess who they want to be. We also got two Halloween LTDs today. The first being George Kittle. These are in your rerolls. 90 speed, 6'4". Basically a better version of Delaney Walker. I feel bad for anyone, especially Niners theme team. Just a better version of Delaney Walker. And then Melvin Ingram, 88 speed. He gets 0 AP Speedster. That's his best ability there. Here is your content schedule this week. The big thing that to notice, all Madden 2, but Legends. So we're getting all Madden 2. I would have to guess on Thursday, and then your typical Legends on Saturday. Other than that, nothing too crazy. Harvest should be dropping next week, at least part 1, then part 2 the following week. But yes, that is your schedule for this week. Let's hop into, and we got a lot to get into, the market. First thing I want to talk about in this Market Monday is the surprise or secret market crash potentially coming this week. Now, this is all speculation, of course, but we head over to the MUT store, and it's not going to be your training offers. There's no secret pack there. It's going to be the special offers, and you'll notice the MUT Point team packs in the top right-hand corner. This was only made aware to me this weekend. The timer is ticking down. Well, actually, for all of them, except I guess the first two on my screen aren't showing the timer, but 2 days and 16 hours, that is set to expire Thursday morning. Now, these packs have a really big impact on the market. And by the way, these packs were available day 1 of 23. And a lot of the players in the actual pack, I'll say Jamar Chase, for example, was a very good core elite, but he was super, super cheap because he was in these packs. Now, the way the pack works is you pretty much get 2 or 3 headliner players and then a bunch of lower tier elites, and they're all BNDs. The pack, if we get a refresh this Thursday, which I'm assuming we are, will probably be like 89 overall and a 90 overall headliner player, and then a bunch of 85 overall core elites. Now, this is, again, pure speculation. There's really nothing you can do to prepare for this. I just want you guys to keep your eye out on the store and the market for later this week, because a lot of people will look to buy these packs. And since they are BNDs, let's say you get a 90 overall quarterback and an 89 overall wide receiver. I know that's maybe not wide receiver, but right guard, for example. No, there's no 89 right guard. Left guard. A lot of people will go out and sell their auctionable players in that same position, replace them with the BND they got from the pack, and you'll see a lot of the high-end market, probably 89 to 91 overall, really take a crash. We saw this last year. Last year we had these packs in the game. I can recall vividly, it was around March or April, they refreshed the packs. They put a lot of Redux and Bow-Nose players in said packs, and those players tanked in price. It was like a random Wednesday. And I remember I spent probably 20-30 mil on a Wednesday morning buying Bow-Nose and Redux cards as investments because they just pretty much got cut in half. Remember Calvin Johnson was like 170. He went all the way down to 100. Other Redux guys that were going for 200, 250k down to like 90k because they were all involved within the pack. Again, this is all speculation. There's really nothing you can do to prepare. Just whatever cards are involved in that pack, position-wise, the exact player. We could see a significant crash in the market, like 89 overall to 91 overall market, because I think those cards be targeted within the packs. That's something to keep your eye out on, all right? We'll probably, and I'll make a video, of course, if it like actually happens on Thursday morning, the market goes in chaos. I'll have a video out probably Thursday, just talking about it in general, what I am doing. But keep your eye out on that, for that. Team packs expiring this Thursday upcoming Thursday morning. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go to our normal investments. First thing I'm going to talk about is training investments. We bought a lot of training. I personally bought around 3 mil worth of training at around 8 per. This weekend, 8.1, 8.2 is probably my average. And the plan was to either sell it off on this Halloween LTD training rise or hold it for the All Madden Part 2 and hope there is a reroll involved within that content drop. Now, the only overalls I have sold today are 86 overalls, and you can see on the screen, they are going for 26 and 27k. They were a buy price for around like 17, 18. They are the card, the overall that has gone up the highest I've seen, and I have sold off every 686 overall sellable card in my binder. I would show you guys my auctions. For some reason, it just doesn't show my sales. It showed 186 overall Michael Vick I sold for 24.8. Yes, I sold a little bit early, but it's whatever. If you go to my binder, you'll notice I have actually 0 86 overalls that are sellable. I still have some 87s, some 85s, some 84s, and I would recommend trying to super lazy sell them as the days move on. Training has just taken an overall little bit of a spike today, so you can't really buy training back again for under 8 per. It's at like 9, 9.5. You did the snipe for like 8.5. not the best, but you should have been buying on Saturday and Sunday. That's a little bit of an update on our training investments. I'm still holding out for like my 85s, my 87s, my 84s for Thursday. That's when I think all Madden is going to drop, and hopefully there is a reroll involved with that content drop. Next up, AKA investing. I'm going to give a rundown of what happened last week for each of the overalls. So 88 overalls were a buy for around 47k or less. I had an average of 45k. I was able to sell all of mine off really like a day later for 57, 58, and really 58 to 59k throughout the week, making us really good, like 6 to 7k on average after tax, because I bought mine on an average for 45k. Now the 84 overall investment we made, it was an 11k or less buy. My average was around 10,000 coins, and it was a little bit of a mystery of how they would react in the market. I would say it was not a super success. It wasn't bad. Like, I made coins. Pretty much how it went was I woke up this morning for 7:30 a.m. West Coast time, and I just completed the 89 overall AKA fantasy pack. I chose LaShawn McCoy and sold, I think, 6 or 7 of them for around 160 to 180k, making me like anywhere from 250 to 300k, because remember, I bought for 10k, 10 of those cards 170, so I was getting around 15k back from each of the 84s, so 5k profit on each of the cards. It was solid. The only thing I would say is you have to wake up right when the AKA content drops, and you have to sell super fast, because it took 20-30 minutes, and the cards, LaShawn McCoy specifically, the 89 overall, went from 170. I sold the max. I sold one was for 195. Went from 170 down to 145, 150. Like, snap of the finger. Super fast. So you have to be on, and the only way the investment really works is if you're available to be on in the first 20 minutes of the AKA players getting revealed, or not revealed, released. So that's like the only issue with that investment. It was good. I bought 50. I made like 250 to 300k. However, you know, you have to be on right away, like right away. So we'll see. We're not going to be investing in 84s this week because we aren't getting 92s next week. Next week will be 93 AKA, so the 84s will be useless for that upgrade fantasy pack. However, this week we are also always buying our 88 overall AKAs. My target price is under 42,000 coins. Hoping to sell these for 52 to 53k, make 5 to 6k after tax on each of these cards. Remember, we aren't buying 89 since, again, we're getting 93 overall AKAs next week. We are only buying 88 AKAs. Again, under 42,000 coins. Look to sell them later in the week for above 50k. Team of the week investing, just like AKA, I'm going to give a rundown of how our investments did last week. We were buying Kenneth Walker. I want to say it's Sam Williams. I can't really see that name on my screen. We were buying them for under 75k. My average was 72 or 73.5k for these 89 team of the weeks. And you can see them right now, they're 87k, 93k really for Sam Williams. They peaked strictly on the auction house at around 92, 93k this past weekend. However, the way to liquidate and get the most coins out of these team of the week cards was through the Tracy Porter set. Hopefully you watched one of my 2 videos this past week after I uploaded the Market Monday, because I tried to tell you guys to do the Tracy Porter, and you can really still do it, the Tracy Porter set. Now, how the value you're getting back at the 89 works, remember, you're buying 4 89s that you bought for 75k or less, and you need 3 86s. The set pretty much went for around 350k for the prices you bought, buying 86s at 17k, 18k, and your 89s at 75k. Now remember, you're doing it for around 350, 360. Tracy Porter is selling for 450, even 490k right now. I sold all mine away for around like 430, 440, and pretty much you were making around 40 to 50k on the Tracy Porter set, strictly through the 89 overalls. Remember, 4 of them. So you just take 40 divided by 4, 10k profit for each of those 89 overalls after tax. In comparison to how that would be on the auction house, it's not just selling your 89 overalls for 85k, because that would be taxed, would only be 78k, making you what, 2k profit. Remember, we're making 10k profit off each card by doing the Tracy Porter set, so it would be equivalent to selling the 89 overall for around 95k on the auction house. So great every single week, man. It seems the 89 or whatever the highest set piece team of the cards are just great investments, either just selling them individually or by doing the set. Again, this week, whatever price they are, I will be buying them late Tuesday afternoon, late Tuesday evening. That is your team of the week investment update, and I have one more thing to talk about for team of the week cards. So next up, we're going to be talking about something, and this is a little bit maybe of a newer-ish investment. We're going to talk about team of the week set players, specifically the bad ones. What do I mean by that? Your Devondre Campbells, your Todd Heaps, and even your Roddy Whites. Now, the thing I noticed this past week was on Tuesday, Devondre Campbell, low 200s, right? 215K, Roddy White, 300K. Even going back to the week before, Todd Heap, low, or I think it was mid to high 200,000 coin mark. Now, the thing is with these 92 overall set guys, or there'll be 92s this week, 93s the following week, is these players' behavior, their cards' behavior on the market is of an LTD, because the big thing is these cards are packed on Tuesday, right? Tuesday. Devondre Campbell packed a ton. He's down to 200K, 215K. Now, after Tuesday, when packs aren't being pulled, these cards now, unlike Tracy Porter, even unlike Josh Jacobs, now Roddy White, these cards are going to be supplied after Tuesday. Why? Because the set is cheaper than the card. However, for a card like Devondre Campbell, for a card like Todd Heap, since the set is so much more expensive than the card on the auction. Remember, Devondre Campbell was going for 215. The set to do Devondre Campbell was around 350K. So why would you do a set for a card that goes for 100K less than the set? No one is doing the set. So the only supply of the card is strictly from packs in the first 24 hours. And you will notice now that Devondre Campbell is going for 280, 400K, or 380, 400K. Todd Heap even up to 320K. These cards are even more rare than LTDs because nobody is doing the set. The only supply is from the packs. So going forward, just take a look at the value of the set for Team of the Week cards. Let's say this week it's 300K to do a set. And there are 2 of the 4 set champions going for 220, 225K. You might want to look into snagging one of those 2 and just hold them for a week. And once the supply diminishes every single day, less and less cards are going to be posted. Because again, no one opens packs, Team of the Week packs specifically after the first 24 hours because of that early bird offer. And you're probably going to see your card rise from 225 to 300K pretty consistently because there's no added supply. It behaves like an LTD. There's probably less, and you saw there was 1 Devondre Campbell, 1 Todd Heap. There are less of those than the actual LTDs we got this past week. Something to keep your eye on. Bad set players, if they are going for 100K, even 50K cheaper than the set price for the Team of the Week sets, look into snag them Tuesday. Also, if you want to get any Team of the Week players of that week, Tuesday is the cheapest to either do their set or buy them straight up. And lastly, just going to talk about the LTD market, go through all the LTDs really this past week, how they've reacted, and the 2 LTDs in packs right now, being of course George Kittle and Melvin Ingram. I haven't really, like Tyrann Mathieu, by the way, up from about 420 to 460, 470. I think I'm over investing in real LTDs. They're just so common, and the cards really just aren't the best. Melvin Ingram right now, 540. I just don't have an interest in buying him for 540. Kittle, almost 700K for he's a solid tight end, but 700K for a real LTD. I don't know. The real LTDs, it's just not worth the time and the coins. You spend 420K to make 50K and you have to wait a week. I'd rather just put those coins into AKAs, Team of the Weeks, training. There's just better ways to spend your coins on real LTDs. Now, non-real LTDs, like Legends, for example, and well, Charles Tillman this week was pretty much out of the budget, even for me as an investment. He was 2 mil. The lowest I saw was around like 1.8, 1.9. He got to around 2.2. He's 2.9 right now on your screen, but I think that's just people not listing. There's been no sales above 2.2 for Charles Tillman. It's too hard to invest in a card that's not a quarterback, or in my opinion, at that 2 mil mark. That's not an absolute game changer because tax is going to kill you. If you buy Charles Tillman for 2 mil, he essentially has to go up to 2.5 just for you to make coins at a good rate for you spending 2 million coins on an investment, because 220K taxed. If I'm spending 2 mil on an investment, I'm making at least 200K. So Charles Tillman would have to rise 500K just for you to make, I would say, a minimal investment W for that card. And if, of course, he drops to 1.8, 1.7, you're losing 500K. I just don't really think it's worth it. Any investment above 1.2, 1.3, I'm not really taking a look at. Team of the Week, guys, Kevin Byard right now, he's gone down. He was 540, 550 one point this weekend, down to 500K. And I will say, as a Kevin Byard owner, I have 3 of them. I'm probably going to hold them till this next weekend. However, I was monitoring his sales this past week. Not many people are buying him. Like, there's a few sales, it feels like, every single day. The demand for this card just isn't there. I'm just looking at getting 550 back from him. I bought him at an average of 428. So I would still be making 75K off each of his investment. But yeah, he's just not being bought that much. Derek Carr is down to 500K. Again, quarterbacks, it's hard to invest in those. But yeah, I think that's it. We've covered everything, aka investing, Team of the Week investing, set champion Team of the Week investing, training investment update, and finally your LTDs. That's all for this video. Comment if you have any questions. like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, and until next video or next time, peace.